Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy English Podcast. I'm Maya.
And I'm Leo. Okay, quick question before we get deep and wise today. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and your first thought is, how did I mess up this badly?
Oh wow, starting light, I see.
I'm serious. You know that moment. You open your eyes, check your phone, and reality just slaps you in the face.
Yeah, the you lost your job email, the you didn't get the promotion message, the we're going in a different direction call.
Exactly. And suddenly, your brain starts writing a sad movie script about your life.
So if that's you right now, if you've had a big career setback, a failure, a moment that made you think, maybe I'm just not good enough, this episode is for you.
Yeah, today we're talking about the career comeback, not the pretty, Instagram-friendly version, the real one, the messy, scary, one step forward, two steps back kind.
We're talking about what it actually feels like when your plan falls apart, how to stop spiraling, and how to slowly, very slowly, claw your way back.
And while we talk, you're also going to hear natural, real-life English, the kind you actually use when life gets hard.
This is a B2 to C1 level episode, so the language will be richer, more natural. If some parts feel challenging, that's okay. Just stay with us. Listen for the story, the feeling, the ideas.
And later, we'll do a calm word tour where we explain some of the stronger phrases we use today. So don't stress if something flies past you. We'll come back to it.
Before we jump in, if you enjoy learning English this way, through real conversations, real feelings, real life, please hit like, subscribe, and maybe share this with one friend who's going through a tough career moment right now.
Yeah, because learning together and supporting each other makes everything lighter.
All right, take a breath, maybe grab a coffee or tea, and let's talk about what happens when your career doesn't go the way you planned.
So, Leo, let's start with the worst part. The moment when everything falls apart.
Yeah, the moment when you realize, oh, this is actually happening to me.
For some people, it's sudden. You walk into a meeting and your boss says, we need to talk, and you already know. For others, it's slower. You see the signs. Fewer projects, fewer invitations to meetings, people avoiding eye contact.
And you try to pretend it's fine, but deep down, you're already bracing for impact.
I remember when I lost a job I really cared about. I thought I was doing well. I was working hard, staying late, saying yes to everything.
And then?
Then, one Friday afternoon, my manager called me into a small room, and I just knew. The way she looked at me, the tone of her voice.
What did she say?
She said, we're restructuring. Your position is being eliminated. It's not about your performance.
But it felt personal.
Completely. Even if it wasn't, it felt like I failed, like I wasn't good enough to keep.
And that feeling is so heavy because suddenly you're not just losing a job, you're losing your routine, your identity, your confidence.
Right. You start asking yourself, who am I if I'm not the person who works at that company?
And then the spiral starts.
Oh, the spiral is real. You go home, you sit on the couch, you stare at the wall, and your brain starts listing every mistake you ever made.
I should have worked harder, I should have been smarter, I should have seen this coming.
Exactly. And social media doesn't help. You open Instagram, and everyone else looks happy, successful, promoted.
The grass looks so green on their side.
Yeah, and your grass looks dead.
But here's the thing. When you're in that moment, when everything just collapsed, you don't need to have all the answers yet.
No?
No, you just need to survive the first 48 hours without making it worse.
What do you mean?
I mean, when you're in shock, your brain is not in decision-making mode. It's in panic mode.
True. So what do you do?
First, you let yourself feel it. Cry if you need to. Be angry. Be sad. Don't bottle it up.
Bottle it up means you hide your feelings inside and pretend you're fine, right?
Exactly. And when you bottle things up for too long, eventually you explode.
Or you just feel numb.
Yeah. So step 1, feel the feelings. Step 2, don't make big decisions right away.
Like what?
Like sending angry emails or deleting your LinkedIn or telling everyone you're moving to another country to start a farm.
Wait, did you almost do that?
Maybe.
That's actually a good reminder. When you're devastated, your brain wants to do something big and dramatic to feel in control again.
But most of the time, the best move is to do nothing big for a few days. Just breathe, talk to one safe person, eat something, sleep.
So basically, keep your head above water.
Exactly. Keep your head above water means you're just trying to survive, not drown. You're not thriving yet, you're just staying afloat.
And that's okay. That's actually a huge success in the first few days.
Right, because the real comeback doesn't start with a big, heroic moment. It starts with small, quiet survival.
Okay, so you survived the shock, you got through the messy middle. Now let's talk about what happens when you actually start clawing your way back.
Yeah, claw your way back. That phrase is so powerful.
It is. Claw your way back means you return slowly, with effort, like you're climbing out of a deep hole using your hands.
Right. It's not elegant, it's not fast, but it's real.
So what does that look like in real life?
It looks like showing up even when you don't feel ready. It looks like applying to jobs even when you're scared of rejection. It looks like learning new skills even when you're tired.
It looks like doing the thing that scares you the most.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, that thing is putting yourself out there again after you've been hurt.
That's the hardest part, because after a setback, your confidence is low. You start to doubt yourself.
You think, what if I try again and fail again? What if this is just who I am?
But the truth is, one failure doesn't define you.
No, and even 10 failures don't define you.
What defines you is whether you keep moving forward.
Exactly. And moving forward doesn't mean you have to be fearless.
No?
No, you can be scared and still move. That's actually more brave.
I like that. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear.
Yes. So maybe you apply to a job you think is out of your reach. Maybe you reach out to someone whose work you admire. Maybe you share your story, even though it's vulnerable.
Vulnerable means open, honest, even though it might hurt. So when you're vulnerable, people connect with you because they see themselves in your story.
I remember after I lost that job, I finally posted something honest on LinkedIn. I said, I lost my job, I'm figuring out what's next. If you have advice or opportunities, I'd love to hear from you.
And what happened?
I got so many messages. People shared their own stories, people offered to help, some even offered job leads.
See? You didn't have to pretend to be perfect, you just had to be real.
Yeah, and that openness actually helped me claw my way back faster.
And here's something else that helps. You have to let go of the old story.
What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes we hold on to the idea of who we were before the setback, the job title, the salary, the status.
And we think, I need to get back to that exact place or I failed.
But maybe the comeback isn't about going back, it's about going forward to something different, something better.
Ooh, that's deep.
Think about it. What if the setback happened because that path wasn't right for you anymore?
So it's not a failure, it's a redirection.
Exactly, and when you reframe it that way, the setback becomes part of your growth story, not your failure story.
I love that, because instead of saying, I lost my job and my life fell apart, you say, I lost my job and it forced me to rethink what I really want. And that's when things started to change.
That's powerful, because you're not pretending it didn't hurt, but you're also not letting it define you.
Right. And the truth is, most comebacks are slow. They don't happen in one big moment.
They happen in 100 small moments.
One application, one conversation, one new skill, one day when you didn't give up.
And over time, those small wins start to add up.
You get one interview, then another, then an offer.
Or you start a side project, then someone notices, then it turns into something bigger.
And one day you look back and realize, I did it. I actually clawed my way back.
And the person you are now is different from the person you were before the setback.
Yeah, you're stronger, you're wiser, you're more resilient.
And you know something really important now.
What's that?
That you can survive hard things, that you can fall and get back up, that you're not fragile.
And that knowledge changes everything, because now when the next hard thing comes, and it will, you won't be as scared.
No, you'll think, I've done this before. I can do it again.
And that's the real career comeback. Not just getting a new job, but getting your confidence back, your belief in yourself.
Yeah, that's the prize. Not the title, not the salary. The knowledge that you can rise from the ashes.
Rise from the ashes, like a phoenix. You burn, but you come back stronger.
Exactly.
Okay, we've told the story. Now let's take a slow word tour. We'll walk through some of the key phrases from today so you can really own them.
Yeah, just relax, listen, repeat if you want. No pressure.
First phrase, bottle up your feelings. When you bottle up your feelings, you hide them inside and don't express them. You pretend you're fine when you're not. For example, after I lost my job, I bottled up my feelings for weeks. Then one day, I just broke down and cried.
Or,
Don't bottle up your feelings. Talk to someone you trust. Next phrase, keep your head above water. Keep your head above water means you're just barely managing. You're surviving, not thriving.
for example, after the layoff, I was just trying to keep my head above water. I wasn't thinking about big plans. I was just getting through each day. Or, some weeks, keeping your head above water is enough. Keep your head above water. Next word, stagnant. Stagnant describes something that isn't moving or growing. It's stuck. For example, my career felt stagnant. I was in the same position for years with no growth. Or, when your progress feels stagnant, it's time to try something new. Stagnant. Next word, reframe. To reframe something means to change the way you see it, to look at it from a different angle. For example, I had to reframe my job loss. Instead of seeing it as failure, I saw it as a chance to find something better. Or, if you reframe setbacks as learning experiences, they hurt less. Reframe. Next word, claw your way back. To claw your way back means to recover slowly and with great effort after a big setback. For example, after losing everything, he had to claw his way back one small step at a time. Or, career comebacks aren't pretty. You have to claw your way back with effort and patience. Claw your way back. Next word, vulnerable. Vulnerable means open and honest, even though it's scary. You're willing to be seen, even if you might get hurt. For example, I felt vulnerable sharing my job loss story online, but people responded with so much kindness. Or, being vulnerable is not weakness, it's courage. Vulnerable. Next word, relentless. Relentless means you keep going no matter what. You don't stop, you don't give up. For example, she was relentless in her job search. She applied to 50 companies and didn't quit until she found something. Or, success belongs to the relentless, not the perfect. Relentless. Next phrase, bounce back. To bounce back means to recover after something difficult, like a ball hitting the ground and coming back up. For example, after the rejection, it took him a few weeks to bounce back, but he did. Or, resilient people know how to bounce back from failure. Bounce back. Next phrase, the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court means it's your turn to act. You have the power to decide what happens next. For example, they offered you the job. Now the ball is in your court. Do you accept or keep looking? Or, after a setback, the ball is in your court. What will you do next? The ball is in your court. Last phrase, rise from the ashes. To rise from the ashes means to come back strong after being destroyed or deeply hurt, like a phoenix bird. For example, his business failed, but he rose from the ashes and started something even better. Or, a real comeback is when you rise from the ashes and become stronger than before. Rise from the ashes. Great, that was our word tour. You can always come back and listen again. Choose one or two phrases that feel right for you and try to use them this week.
So, that's our conversation about the career comeback, about what it really feels like to lose something, to struggle, and to slowly claw your way back.
Yeah, and the big idea is this. Setbacks don't mean you're done. They just mean you're in a hard chapter.
And every hard chapter is followed by a new one if you keep turning the pages.
So, if you're in the middle of a career setback right now, here's what we want you to remember. 1. It's okay to feel hurt. Don't bottle it up. 2. Small steps count. You don't have to fix everything today. 3. You're not behind, you're just in a different chapter. 4. The ball is in your court. You get to decide your next move. And 5. You can rise from the ashes. You can bounce back. You can claw your way back. So take one small action this week. Apply to one job. Send one message. Learn one new skill. Update one line on your resume. And if you want, share it in the comments. Tell us one thing you're doing to move forward. We'd love to hear your story. And if this episode helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's going through a tough time, because you never know, your share might be the thing that helps them keep going. Take care of yourself, be patient with yourself, and remember, this is not the end of your story.
This is Maya.
And this is Leo, and you've been listening to Easy English Podcast. Thanks for being here.
See you next time.
Bye.